Welcome, everybody. Great to see you all here. Thank you for coming for tonight's special evening. I've been having fun today. I shouldn't say today, it's actually the last hour. I've been creating a little bit of a different presentation for tonight. So hopefully we'll have some folks here tonight that will enjoy that. And Terry, if you would not mind, could you please put this on Facebook Live? That would be great. And I'll just start by connecting with everybody. So welcome, Keiko. Haven't seen you in a long time, coming in from Japan. And welcome, Luz. Aloha, welcome, Patricia, Denise, Alicia. Welcome also Rosemary, Dorian, and Anita Cosima. Welcome, Dr. Consuelo. Welcome, Jamie. And aloha, welcome also Sherry, Cass, Sharon, and Adrienne. Please feel free to reach out to anybody you think might benefit tonight's The Art of Self-Healing. We're going to be talking a lot about self-healing, and we're going to be doing a lot of healing tonight as well. And so we'll be doing some demonstrations of this healing. So everybody here will, of course, experience it, but we'll also, anybody who is new or newer would be very grateful to receive healing, I am sure. And so that's another possibility as well. So reach out and grab them and share this Zoom link. Don't put it on social media because that causes people to do unpleasant things. Some people are kind of bored, so they do boring things like invade Zooms. So, but feel free to share with anyone that you know personally. Great. Welcome also to Shirley. And there'll be more people growing as they realize it's a little bit after 7. And so I'm very excited because we've been going through some big changes with our organization. You know, we are all over the world, and the Dow healing itself is starting to get quite a bit of traction and recognition because it works. And for those of you that are brand new tonight, you're going to learn quite a bit more about that. We're going to be covering several different forms and aspects of Dow healing. And so I'm confident that you'll get a lot out of it. But I'll start by, and I'm mostly just using up a little bit of time right now because generally speaking, the first 10 minutes, people are just still landing here. And so, but I would like to check in with anybody that is new here for the first time. Please feel free to open your line and share just, you know, what brought you here tonight. Did you come for the self-healing part to learn a little bit more about the Dow healing hands, or just to see what we're all about? Did you want to receive some healing? Certainly we're looking for some folks that would like to be receiving some self-healing, be a part of the demonstration. So make sure you put your hand up for that, because that's a fabulous way to get healing, and usually it's some great results. So feel free to open your mic and share. Luz says, welcome from the Philippines. Well, several people coming in from the Philippines, great. And welcome also to Alexandra. So is there anyone here that's new tonight for the very first time? Feel free to let us know. Even if you just want to put it into the chat, that's fine too. And I'll wait a moment. So a little bit about myself for those that are unfamiliar. My name is Paul Fletcher, and I am a center leader at Dow Center Portland. I'm a certified master teacher and healer, and the certification came through Dow Academy. And so Dow Academy is a very large organization and certifies people around the world for this healing modality. You'll learn a little bit about that today, and self-healing is one of the keys. So let's talk a little bit about how Dao healing came about. I'm gonna start by putting up a little presentation, and there's a individual that you'll learn a little bit more about today. We need to spend 5 or 10 minutes on this person because he's the one that brought Dao healing to bring healing to humanity. And without that foundation, it just doesn't make as much sense. So welcome also Patricia and Dr. Inderjeet, and welcome Benita. Great to see you all here. And anybody who's joined us in Facebook live stream, so happy to see you here as well. So I'll continue with a little bit of my story and we'll pop into this other backdrop. So I got to this position and being a Dao Center leader by basically being in your position, looking for something to self-heal, looking for something that works, that where other things didn't work. And I also happened to be interested in the spiritual side of things. You know, what's the purpose of life? Why are we here? That aspect. And so I was blessed to come across this form of healing, which happened to provide answers for several of those arenas. So I'll pop up a screen here and then we'll move forward from there. Can one of the moderators let me know if they can see this?
Visible, yes.
Perfect, thank you. So this is the art of self-healing, and it is an introductory evening, meaning we're going to introduce it to you and use you if you would like to receive a healing demonstration. Now, this statement here, I have the power to heal myself. You have the power to heal yourself, and together we have the power to heal the world. So this statement was the first statement I read when I picked up a book from the individual I'm going to introduce you to shortly. His name is Dr. and Master Jigong Shah. And I was living in Hawaii at the time. I was about 15 years ago, and I was, Hawaii is not a bad place to live, but I was kind of scrolling through life and I was pretty happy for the most part. I had actually found a couple of energy masters, Qigong masters, they refer to them as, where they know how to move the Qi, the life force Qi through your body. And I was doing Qigong practices and I had trained under a couple of different teachers that are, very high level teachers, but I was just not, satisfied necessarily. And I came across this teacher and opened up one of his books, and it said, I have the power to heal myself. You have the power to heal yourself. Together, we have the power to heal the world. I was like, wow, that's kind of a nice and simple statement. The next one is what really caught my attention. He said, the purpose of life, because we all wonder, what's the purpose of life? And I had been on that journey, the purpose of life. And then he had the final two words, which really captured my heart. He said, the purpose of life is to serve. I thought, wow, who says that? The purpose of life is to serve. Well, who says that as a person who has that agenda in his heart, someone who really wants to make a difference on the planet, help and empower people to self-heal. So that's the individual I'm going to introduce you to today. His name is Dr. Master Jigong Shah. And this link I'm going to take you to, you're more than welcome to access it. I'll drop it into the chat. It won't let me click on it from where I'm at. So give me just a moment. We'll just do this a different way. So I'll drop this in the chat. You're welcome to go to this anytime in the future. It's also on his home website. This will give you a good foundation to work with here. And so let me pull this up and then I'll share this with you. Okay, let me prepare this. Okay, there we go. And look, I need to prepare it so you can hear the audio. Give me one more moment and enjoy. It's only like a minute or two long. It's actually 6 minutes, so. And play.
Millions of people meditate. Positive thinking and a special healing mantra or healing song, wonderful. but I think mind over matter is not enough. The next step is soul over matter. Soul over matter, soulfulness means our soul can make things happen.
Master Zhigong Sha studied to be a medical doctor in Western medicine from China. Through this journey, he came to learn of a 5,000-year-old practice in traditional Chinese medicine. This revolutionized both his practice and his healing gifts. This is his story.
When I was in a medical college, Xi'an Medical College, one time I think at the restaurant, the meat spoiled. Then I took it, then I have vomiting, diarrhea, and my intestine cramp. Then midnight, I went to emergency. They give me injection in modern medicine, nothing works. Ayo, pain. I drink water, pull throughout. I have a classmate. He is the traditional Chinese medicine lineage family, but he studied modern medicine as me, classmate. And he came down to my room. He said, lie down. I lie down, lie on the stomach. And he put his hands on my inner thigh and also my lower back. And he said, relax. Then he moved the finger, moved my tendon. I was shouting, wow, very painful, and very forceful, move my tendon. And then he said, drink the water. I said, I cannot drink anything. He said, big bowl of water, drink it. I drink it, I drink it. I was totally okay. I have such a deep impression. I said, wow, Chinese medicine, 5,000 years history. There must be something.
This experience, along with many more, changed Master Sha's trajectory from studying strictly Western medicine to also studying traditional Chinese medicine. He received his MD degree in Western medicine from China. He also became a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture. As a lifelong student of ancient Chinese wisdom, Master Sha has come to learn this one eternal truth.
Millions of people in China know these three words, Shen, Qi, Jing. But I have realized Shen, Qi, Jing is more than people understand.
In traditional Chinese medicine, Shen, Qi, Jing are known as the three jewels or three treasures. Shen is the soul, Qi is energy, and Jing is essence or matter. Master Sha has learned and further teaches that everything and everyone is made up of soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter. Or in other words, we are all made up of Shen, Qi, Jing.
During my study through the whole life, I have realized Shen, Qi, Jing is a universal law. Everyone, everything is made of Shen, Qi, Jing. Shen includes soul, heart, and mind. So in spiritual realm, soul is the spirit. But in quantum physics and Dao science, soul is information. They are the same. Millions of people believe here, soul and spirit. Millions of people believe scientific way. But in fact, they are the same. Information is your soul. So therefore, this is like an information system we share with humanity in Dao science.
To further explain, the soul is the warehouse where information is stored. Our heart is the receiver, which transmits the information to the mind. Our mind is the processor or interpreter of the information received. Our mind, in turn, directs the energy and initiates actions. This energy, or qi, dictates the actions of matter. Matter, known as jing, can be defined as our physical body, physical environment, and physical circumstances. Knowing this, both the positive and negative information we consume play a crucial role in the outcome of our lives.
Positive information causes great result for health, relationship, finances. If you connect with negative information, you are affected. We do Dao calligraphy. We connect with the source. This is a positive information.
Dao calligraphy is a revolutionary healing art based on an ancient form of one-stroke calligraphy, ibitsu, which he learned from the soul lineage holder, Professor Li Chu Yun. Master Sha further developed this oneness writing to create a powerful vibrational field that carries the positive messages of Dao's source, such as the greatest love, forgiveness, harmony, flourishing, and more. Through this, we can transform negative information and energy in our own vibrational field by absorbing the positive information and energy generated through tracing of Dao calligraphy. This can result in positive changes and profound healing in our lives, as has been the case for hundreds of thousands of people whom Master Sha has served.
Dao calligraphy creates source healing field that can serve all life, including health, relationship, and finances. I am delighted and excited to invite you to join the masterclass taught by Master Teacher Vanessa, Rejuvenation, Prolonged Life, as well as transformation of relationship and finances. Welcome you.
And I'm sure you'll hear me better when I unmute. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, and welcome everybody who came in probably while that movie was going, and welcome everybody on Facebook. So that's a starting point for us. And you start to get a little bit of understanding, and as I go through and we do some actual self-healing practices and we do some other delivery of some healing demonstrations, you'll have a much better understanding. And I go back to and I explain a little bit more about Shen Qi Jing and a little bit more about this Dao calligraphy. And you'll even learn about how you can do self-healing with what's called Dao healing hands. Okay. So I mentioned earlier, and I want to check in again, is there anybody here that's new today? First time, maybe they have a condition they would like to address, some kind of health concern. Feel free to put your name in the chat or open your mic and say hi. Okay, just so you know, this is an open environment, so you're welcome to ask questions at any point in time. And for those that came in late, my name is Paul Fletcher, and I'm a certified master teacher and healer at Dow Academy. I'm also a center leader right here in Dow Center, Portland. So let's pop back in and let me set this properly. There we go. Okay. So you just saw this short video, and you can learn more if you want to go to drsha.com. And you can watch that again, learn a little bit more about who this teacher is, but just a little bit more information on him, because again, he is the one that has brought this form of self-healing to us. His name is Dr. Master Zhigang Sha, and he's an 11 times New York Times best-selling author. He's a pioneer in life transformation and modern day spirituality. As you saw in the video, he has multiple degrees in both Eastern TCM and Western allopathic medicine. Dr. Sha is also a grand master in 5 ancient disciplines, disciplines associated with source frequency and vibration. And these include Tai Chi, Qi Gong, Feng Shui, I Ching, and Kung Fu. So by applying these ancient energy accumulation secrets to his existing medical knowledge, he's become an expert in the most advanced cellular sciences now in China. And he's led breakthrough research in the West on the effects of spirit on the soul, mind, and the body, which you're going to learn about today and actually experience. So also Master Sha is the co-founder of Dao Science with Dr. Rulin Xu. Now, I'm blessed here in Portland to be a co-leader with Dr. Rulin Xu. And should you decide to move forward with some of these self-healing methods for yourself, we of course do private consults, and we have a membership program you learn about. You can receive certain healing abilities to self-heal and learn practices to self-heal. And we're blessed that we have Rulin here, because she brings to the table a way of explaining this form of quantum healing that's very palatable and very easy to understand. So I want to give you just a bit more information now. And thank you, Jamie, for letting us know. Happy to see you here. So this teacher, this world-renowned healer, has actually generated over the past 20 years 12 healing centers in 7 countries and 3 continents. We are all over the place. We have Portland, San Francisco, Honolulu in Hawaii, Vancouver up in the western part of Canada, Toronto in the eastern part, down in Sydney, Australia, over in Belgium. We have one in the Netherlands, one in London, Germany, France, and Martinique. So each one of these centers are serving hundreds, thousands of people around the world. When we now have a global virtual center, which operates out of Toronto. They're called the Global Virtual Center because they serve basically the entire world, every place where we don't have a location. So Dow Center Portland is actually a virtual healing center. So what does that mean? We're a virtual healing center. That means just like today, we're not in the same room, right? I'm not next to you. I could be several thousand miles away from you. And yet what you will experience today, what you will both experience and witness, is a form of quantum healing that does not require your proximity. In other words, we don't have to be in the same room for it to be effective. So one of the very unique aspects of Dao healing is that it's a form of remote healing that works equally well, regardless of being in person or at a distance. And this is truly groundbreaking in its understanding. And the best part about this is, by the end of the day, not only will you have that experience, but you will actually understand how this form of remote quantum healing works. Because not only is it validated by science, but it's also validated by the medical industry. So it's great stuff. So hang in there. We got a lot of fun stuff to cover. And so a lot of people ask, well, what is Dao? And how does this Dao healing work? So what is Dao? Because some people, when they hear Dao, depending on how big that rock is they may be sleeping under, they might not know what Dao is. And some people, they associate it with a form of a belief system called Taoism. And some people, when I talk to them on a private consult, they say, this sounds interesting, but I don't know anything about Taoism. And I look at them and I say, well, that makes 2 of us. I don't know anything about Taoism either. I read a little bit a while back, but that's about it. So we actually don't do that. We don't know much about it. The word Dao is actually a word that if you say the word source, basically it's a plug-in word. It's the same word as source. Okay, so Dao simply means source. It was actually coined back many thousands of years ago by an ancient, well-known philosopher. His name is Lao Tzu. And everybody here has heard of a book called the Bible, right? Okay, it is the most printed, reprinted, and book in the planet that has been reprinted and reproduced and made in different languages. And do you know what the other book it is the most printed and reprinted and reproduced? It's called the Tao Te Ching, and it's written by Lao Tzu, the person that coined the phrase Tao. But it has no association to a belief system. It's written by a philosopher. So, several hundred years later, somebody decided to take that wisdom and make it into a belief system, but that has nothing to do with what Tao is. During the dissertation from this philosopher on the nature of life, the purpose of life, how do we become one with life, how do we follow nature's way, this is the kind of philosophy he spoke of. He referred to as the creator, the source of all things, that it can't be touched, it can't be felt, it's bigger than big and smaller than small, and he referred to it as the Tao. So when you hear that associated with us, Dao, healing, Tao, anything, it's basically saying it's the source healing frequency and vibration, okay? So we tell you that so you don't square your head around anything associated with a belief system. Whatever your belief system is, awesome. Hold on to it. It's perfect for you. We're not here to change anything. We want to add to whatever you have so that you can get the healing that you want, okay? So how then does Dao healing work? Let's take a look. Dao healing is a scientifically and medically validated quantum information healing system. What does that mean? Quantum information healing system. Let's break it down a little bit. So this beautiful soul on the right here is Dr. and Master Whelan Shu. I say Dr. and Master. She's a physicist, so she has a PhD in physics and physics. And she is also a certified master teacher from Dow Academy and a co-leader at Dow Center Portland. Well, about 13 years ago, actually, because her and I, not knowing each other at the time, ran across this teacher on the big island of Hawaii, Master Sha, and we attended one of his events, and we both said, wow, you know, this person has something to offer. And we started paying attention to the wisdom and teachings that he was offering at those times. And he discovered that Rulin was a physics major. He discovered that she went to the best university in all of China for that subject matter. And again, attended the best university here in Berkeley, California for the same subject matter. So taught in her both schools, very, very well educated, very intelligent. And he asked her, he says, I need to be able to explain this form of healing to the mainstream that will only believe in science. They're not interested in, you could do a healing right in front of them and everything could be much better instantly and the pain could go away, but they don't care unless they can validate it with science. So he gave her that mandate many years ago. And since then, they have co-written 2 books. And what I'm about to show you is the 3 or 4 minute synopsis in the most simple way you can understand about how this healing works, okay? But if you are one of those people that loves to read a little more deeper understanding, if that's your nature, go purchase these books. They're great. So Dao science is a science that brings together quantum physics and spirituality at a fundamental level. Dao science indicates that the vibrational field, pay attention to the verbiage, vibrational field of everyone and everything carries information, energy, and matter. Everyone and everything has a vibrational field and it carries information, energy, and matter. And you see those words? There they are again. Master Sha in the video spoke of those, Shen, Qi, and Jing. Information, energy, and matter can be positive or negative. Okay, so let's put the brakes on right here and work with this one. Some of you came in today and you've got something going on with you, some health issue, you need some self-healing. Some of you are already Dao healers. You came in to support. We're grateful for your presence, regardless of your reasonings for being here. You and I all came from the same source. We came from the source creator, Dao, whatever you want to call it, okay? And this microphone that I'm talking through, a cup of water that I'm holding, and the cup itself, guess where it came from? The source. Yeah, same place. But before it became this solid object that I'm holding and talking about, it was what? It was energy and matter. And this is what physics looks at. They look at energy and matter and they watch how it moves and how it acts and try to figure it out so they can explain the universe. Well, very simply, all energy and all matter exists in all creation, came from the same source. You and I are made of that same energy and matter that this cup is, that this microphone is. We're all made of the same stuff. So get that first. We're all made of the same stuff. And everything, not only according to physics, but science can look at it under a microscope. All that stuff that you and I are made of, that the microphone's made of, that the cup's made of, vibrates. It vibrates. It puts off an oscillation, a wave, whatever you want to call it. You can use that funky language. That's okay. I'm not a physicist, but everything vibrates. Okay. Some of it you can see, some of it you can't see. Can you see a cell phone? The signal that it puts out that goes through a 6-foot concrete wall, to your phone. Can you see that cell phone signal? No. But you know it's there because you got the call, right? Can't see the microwave, but you know it's there because it heats up the food. Can you see the virus in your body? Well, they can under a microscope. Did you know it vibrates? Did you know that? It does. Everything vibrates, and that includes you and me. And around us, we have what's called a vibrational field. Some have seen it in the form of an aura picture, right? You've seen those aura pictures of a leaf, Kirlian photograph and whatnot. We have an aura, okay? So I don't have to convince you so much, but did you know that on your vibrational field, you came in with it, you're a soul, your soul lives forever, you do not, unless you're immortal, then I'd love to talk to you after this class. But if you're not immortal, that means you're probably not going to be around forever. And that means you came in with a suitcase of stuff on your vibrational field from the youth to where you are today. Your vibrational field is like a suitcase. On this hand, you have a positive frequency and vibration. On this hand, negative frequency and vibration. How did it get there? Well, your soul is holding on to it. It is the carrier of all information, positive and negative, from all of the thoughts, all of the words, and all of the actions ever done, positive and negative. So you say something beautiful and positive to somebody and it makes their day. That remains in your vibrational field. You say something, you see somebody on the streets that really needs support. And so you give them money, you give them warm food, a coat, a warm blanket. That's a positive effort, and that brings positive frequency and vibration to your field. These positive information remains on your field. It goes with you wherever you go. And in fact, it brings into your future more of what's on your field. So you want as much of this positive stuff on your field as possible. Guess what else is in one of those suitcases? Yeah, the not so good stuff, right? All the negative thoughts we've ever had about ourselves, about others, all the negative words. Those don't just go out and fly out. They don't just hide in our brain and don't affect anything. Oh, it's just a thought. No one knows it. Well, your vibrational field does, because that emanated other than positive frequency. And that remains on your vibrational field as well. And guess what that does for your future as well? So when you start to understand this basic physics concept, then you can take a look at the next slide. What we do is we provide healing at the root cause, because the root cause has not been identified by Western medicine or even by Eastern medicine. They can't seem to figure out why certain things happen the way they do. Why the person who has a very minor heart attack dies, the person who has a major 4-way bypass lives. There's a root cause. The positive source frequency generated from the Dao healing field that you're going to learn about today, what it does is it releases the negative information that is within your vibrational field that is most likely the culprit and bringing you a form of suffering that you may be experiencing. It could be a financial suffering. It could be suffering in a relationship. It could be heavy emotions, depression, or anxiety. It could be back pain or a physical pain. But these are all have a precursor. They have an origination point. And Dao source healing uses positive frequency and vibration. We help transform that negative information into a higher frequency, a life-enhancing positive frequency, which then, of course, leads to health and happiness. So how Dao science would say it, they would say that the positive information on your vibrational field, the positive information, energy and matter, in terms of pure math, in terms of pure physics, it's orderly, it's connected, it's harmonious, it's associated with good health, joy, abundance, loving relationships, success, qualities like love and compassion, forgiveness, and more. Raise your hand if you want more of those. I want love. I want forgiveness. I want compassion. I want finances. I want all of those things. Positive frequency and vibration brings those to you. And if you're not bathing in those, guess what you need more of? And it's not going to happen by thinking positive thoughts. There's a method. There are self-healing methods that eliminate those things in our vibrational field and expand the positive in our vibrational field. There's actual things you can do. That's what you're going to receive tonight. So know that this is where the rubber hits the road. This is the root. Negative information, energy, and matter in our vibrational field is disordered, disconnected. It is associated with things like pain, illness, depression, grief, anger, fear, anxiety, stress, lack of finances, broken relationships. Raise your hand if you want more of those. I'm probably not going to see any hands popping up on that one. But most of us, if I say, have you had those experiences or do you currently have that experience? I would say both of our hands go up. And so we go through life trying to solve the mental emotional problem by going to see the psychiatrist. Great, nothing wrong with them. They help a lot of people. But if you're not getting any results, you might want to look at what's the root cause. We go through life with some financial concerns. Yes, can't seem to get ahead. Why? Because somewhere in your suitcase, there is negative information, either thoughts, negative thoughts about wealth and finances. Maybe you grew up in a household and environment where there was just not enough, and that was the negative information on your vibrational field proves that out. And so you bring that into your field on a daily basis. And maybe it's a health issue, right? No matter how many operations you get, no matter what you throw at it, nothing seems to be working. Why? Same root cause. Now that we understand the causes, we can start to address them. So Master Sha in the video spoke of the Dao calligraphy healing field. We're going to start by doing a healing with that. I'm going to deliver a healing to everybody today. And it's kind of a meditative healing. We're going to spend about 10 minutes with it. And how does this work? Little setup for you. So you saw in this video that he has this paintbrush and he's painting this beautiful art. And okay, that's nice, but what in the world does that have to do with healing at all? Well, in order to understand, this individual has dedicated his life to serve humanity. And from the age of 5, he trained in Tai Chi. And then at age 10, he started learning Qi Gong. And then at the age of 16, he became a Shaolin monk. And then he became a medical doctor. And then he got his Eastern doctorate degree. And then he started training with some of the great energy masters in the mountains. He became a grand master of Tai Chi, I Ching, Kung Fu, Feng Shui, and another one, I can't think off the top of my head. But in essence, from the age of 5, he has been learning how to connect to the source, how to be the conduit through which the highest, most positive frequency and vibration can come. And that source frequency and vibration can then be offered to others. You've heard of Reiki, right? What do you think that is? That's a form of frequency and vibration. But the conduit through which that's coming through an individual, that individual, their hose may only be as wide as a straw. Other people's hose might be as wide as a garden hose. Other people's might be a fire hose, and other people's might be as wide as a river or an ocean. So the hose of chi, of life force energy that can come through, varies from person to person. The individual Master Sha, training since age 5, dedicated to serve humanity, has very high source connection. And the source frequency and vibration has a report card, literally over 10,000 videos of testimonials of people receiving healing from him directly. He's helped heads of state, everyone else. But he just can't help but being 8 billion people. Too many people to stand and throw energy at. So what did he do? He said, dear the source, how can I bring this healing to as many people as possible? Empower them to self-heal. And he received the guidance, put this healing light, frequency, and vibration into art. And the art will act as a medium, as a conduit, as a portal through which the most positive frequency and vibration can come to individuals. So as a center leader, as someone who's been doing this for 13 years, I've received these Tao healing abilities, been healing myself, healing others for 13 years. It's very efficacious. It works. But for you, maybe it's first time. Let's find out if it works for you. We're going to start by doing what's called a Dow Light Massage. This is a source healing massage, okay? Now, we do this in our membership program. We do this 12 times a month. People are receiving, the Dow Light Massage is 4 times a month, but we have 40 sessions plus a month where you are receiving this extraordinary amounts of this positive healing frequency. We're going to start with that. And so what I want you to do is find a comfortable place. You can close your eyes and relax. I'm going to put on some beautiful music, and I'm going to activate this healing field, because one of the things that's unique about, I mentioned earlier, we are a virtual remote healing center, okay? It's all about activating this healing field and then sending it to you, and then you can receive for your request. All right. So individually at this point in time, I want each of you to check one thing. We just want to focus on one thing this whole evening. Everybody individually choose one aspect that they really want to transform. Now, ideally, especially if it's your first time, choose something that's measurable tonight. Might be neck pain, might be knee, could be lower back, could be toothache, could be stomach ache, or an emotion, right? I'm feeling, like an 8 on the 10 scale anxiety, choose something that's measurable tonight. We can work with you individually later for some of those bigger things, relationships, finances, all that. We can work on that later. That's not measurable tonight necessarily, right? So choose one thing. And each time we do a healing demonstration tonight, I want you to request that same thing. And then we'll check in with everybody on the results. Okay, so let me set up the music for a moment. Okay, great, I've got that. And let me get my image. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put up an image of the healing field, which is an image of several calligraphies. And they're not the ones that are actually doing the healing. It's just simply the activation of the field that makes the difference. But this gives you an idea. It's quite beautiful. Okay. And each one of the centers has these same source calligraphies within their healing field. It takes the authority of a certified center leader to activate them. That's what makes this so unique. All right. So now putting up the image, got the sound ready. So relax, repeat after me. Dear the source, talk to your source. Dear the source, my creator. I'm so grateful to receive this healing through this healing field for my request. Thank you. So open your heart to receive. This will be 10 minutes. Okay, sorry to bring you back from that very relaxed space I'm sure you are all in. But please kind of check in with yourself. I'm not expecting any miracles at this point. It's only been a 10-minute blessing. But this is where we start. And as you're checking in with yourself, I'll give you a little more information around that. So this is one example of one of the many forms of self-healing that we offer through the membership program at Dow Center, Portland. Now we serve the world. That's a virtual healing center. Of course, our local folks here in Oregon, they get our greatest love because they're, right here in Oregon. Just kidding. So the healing field, I activated it silently. And I ask that all of the stored frequency and vibration, the source positive field, go to everybody's individual request. And what that does, what that looks like you see my cup here, right? And so let's imagine that I was, this was cold water, okay? I just didn't like the cold water, it didn't feel good. So I said, I'm gonna pour hot water into it. So I grab hot water and I start pouring the hot water in. And as I'm pouring the hot water in, what happens to the cold water? It starts changing temperature, doesn't it? It's a little bit warmer, and pretty soon, if I pour enough in, it matches the temperature that I'm pouring in. And so this is very much how this form of healing works. Depending on how cold your water is or how long-standing your negative information is, it's creating your suffering. This form of healing can have an instant result. So if it's not that long-standing, you have this much of suffering, and I start pouring in the positive frequency and vibration, you've got healing in 10 minutes. We see it all the time. On the other hand, it could take 1 week, 2 weeks, or a month, 2 months. It really depends on how long-standing and the root of that negative information is. So it's very effective in many ways because it causes a shift in the long-standing blockages that show up for people in a certain way, okay? So I want to check in with everybody. And I did read a lot of things in the chat. I want to welcome all of the new folks that are here. Thank you for sharing your condition and what you'd like to receive healing for. We will probably choose 1 or 2 of you for a specific healing demonstration next. But everybody here, we want to make sure you're served as well. So please feel free to open your line and share anything that you may have experienced with this relatively short 10-minute Dow Light Massage. Great to see you here as well, Joelle.
I'll share, Master Paul.
Yeah, and by the way, folks, the master part is just ignore that. Really, it's representative of a title that we have earned after 13 years of schooling. Like there's Professor Bill or Professor Mary at the university. We go through this university and we're certified master teachers and healers. So it's a form of honor and respect. But don't feel any obligation for that. I don't really care. You can call me Joe. I'll probably answer. Go ahead, Noah.
Thank you for the reminder. And I did not want to wake up. It felt so good. I just wanted to keep being in that beautiful space of peace and feeling like very light. And so for finishing my week this way, it's just such a treat. So thank you so much. I definitely feel a lot more peaceful and more grounded and more aware. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Noah. Who else would like to share? What I'm going to do is now I'm going to go into a little bit more. Cass, is your hand up recently?
I was shy.
Okay, please share.
Well, I wrote it in chat because I actually have a question.
Okay.
So like the Dow Light Massage, like it immediately felt like a heavy blanket and I felt a lot calmer.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize how busy my mind was, but it relaxed in like 30 seconds. On the flip side, which was really neat, it felt really, really tingly. And colors became more vivid. And my mouth got wet and tingly. But my question is that because there's more blood circulation now?
Most likely it's because there's more chi circulation there. Because the healing field brings the source frequency vibration, which will activate the chi flow. It'll make more sense in the next slide that I'm going to show, which shows how this healing works. Okay. Thank you, Cass. And thanks for your sharing. And Dr. Indrajit says she's feeling more alive and rejuvenated. Beautiful. So let me share with you. And we have, Dr. Master Shah's is world-renowned healer. This is just, is very well known. And he wanted to bring this form of healing in as many ways as people wanted to receive it in. So we've spoken of this example, how we can put that frequency and vibration into art. And then those who have the authority to activate that healing field, you get to be the benefactor. You can also actually receive this individually, this authority to heal yourself How awesome is that? You literally use like a magic wand. You receive this healing ability and you turn it on and you send healing to yourself. And you can also bring healing to others. We'll go into that in just a few minutes. It's really kind of neat. But I wanted to share with you, how this form of healing actually works at a root level so that you're clear on it. And as then we start explaining and you start getting more healing, it'll really make a lot of sense. So you saw here on the left, Shen, Qi, and Jing. That was in the first 6-minute video we saw. Then on the right, you see this Dao science. Now, Rulin, she refers to this as that your soul is the warehouse of information, and it's carrying around, in my terminology, these suitcases on either side of you. You got a suitcase of positive stuff and a suitcase of not so positive stuff, and they're all impacting your experiences in this life. And your heart is receiving that information, right? You've heard how the heart houses the mind and the soul. Well, the word Shen, S-H-E-N, on the left side encompasses that wisdom. Your heart houses the mind and the soul. And so the heart receives this information. The question becomes, what is it receiving? Because we're running through life on automatic in most cases, but on your personal vibrational field, maybe there's some negative stuff that you're not aware of, and it puts out that frequency, and your heart receives that negativity. It sends it to the mind. The mind is the processor. At the beginning in that video, what did Master Sha say? He said, the soul carries everything. And soulfulness is different than mind over matter. Mind over matter is letting the mind do things. Soul over matter is letting the soul do things. So you can believe the soul of the water, the soul of your food, everything is part of the source, as we discussed. It all has that frequency and vibration of the source within it, no matter how it manifests, small or large. And so everything is trying to serve us. When we acknowledge that, we can significantly enhance our healing. So we go past mind over matter and understanding that positive and negative frequencies and vibration. So let's take a financial issue, right? Let's say we have a financial problem. Some of us do, some of us don't. Then that's negative information on our vibrational field. The heart receives that. The mind receives this negative information about finances. The energy in our vibrational field then goes about attracting to us what we're really not wanting, right? And it brings into our world less physical matter of the financial conditions showing up for us. Let's say you have a good, healthy, loving relationship. That means that in your field, you have done good things, thought good things to others, for others, about others. You've not been out there gossiping, creating harm in relationships. You have good frequency and vibration in your field around relationships. You brought value to people in relationships. Therefore, your heart receives that positive message. Your mind receives that. The energy attracts to you the matter, the best, highest physical relationship that you can have. Let's say there's one issue with one of the coworkers, right? You got great relationships except for that one coworker. Oh, if you could just drop kick that coworker, it'd be great, right? What does that mean? That means that you and that coworker have some bad juju together. Either they thought some negative about you or you thought some negative about them, or somewhere along the line, it's not happy. So that can actually be transformed with this wisdom. Same thing with a health issue, okay? You just pick a health issue. Could be a major disease, could be something minor, strain your wrist. But whatever it is, it was on your vibrational field and it was there before it actually showed up in your physical world. And this is also how it gets unwound, okay? What do we do? We bring extraordinary amounts of positive healing frequency and vibration. How do we do that? Through the transmissions. You either join the healing field through like the membership as an example, you attend something like this and you receive healing frequency and vibration. Maybe you decide to become a Dow Hands healer so you can heal yourself. That's a possibility. Maybe you decide that you want to be a dancer and heal through dance. That's available. It's all about receiving an authority, or bathing in the field. Now, I want to take a moment and ask for some of our Dow Hands healers to think of like the last time they offered a healing, okay? Because a Dow Hands healer is one of the ways you can receive healing. It's a form of self-healing. You can heal yourself. And if you decide to become a level 2 or level 3 Dow Hands healer, you can heal others. And so I wanted to ask a few of our Dow Hands healers to think of the last time they've offered a healing, what the results were before and after, and just share with the audience. There's a lot of new people here. So feel free to open your mic and share.
I'll share.
Please go ahead. Can you put on your camera, Joelle?
I don't really know how to do that.
In the bottom left corner, there should be a little video that has an X in it. And if you un-X it, you're probably good to go.
Okay, here we go. Is it working? I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I'll try to find me in a little bit. I'm in the ether somewhere. Well, I've been blessed to do the Dow Hands healing with you, Paul, and I've been working on quite a few people actually lately. I've been working on children and some animals and some elders. And I worked on a dear friend of mine the other day. And while we were doing the healing, Spirit came and told me she needed salt. It's really interesting, like that she really needed salt. So I went and got some salt and put it by her head while we were in the Dow field. And we did a really beautiful transmission. She got a lot of information based on what she was trying to figure out in her body. And the next day she called me and she said, "Are you a wizard?" And I said, "What does that mean?" And she said, "I got my labs back from my doctor. And the one thing that they had missed that was so crucial to a key piece of my health was my sodium levels were at a really scary low." So it was really interesting. Just it seemed like a really small piece that we were given, but it actually for her made a huge difference in her health journey. So that was just a really sweet piece of information we got the other day.
Excellent. And you say you used your Dow Hands for children and animals. Do you have a story?
Yeah, I have a dear friend whose children sadly were part of an abusive situation. That she has 5 children and 4 of them were recently sexually abused. And the oldest child is really having a complete breakdown mentally, physically, emotionally, because she feels like somehow it's her fault. And her mother called me the other day and told me she was basically in like a 911 crisis. And I had already done one healing that day. And I said to her, "Okay, give me 1 hour." And I went for a walk and kind of cleared my energy. And I worked on the little girl. And it was so interesting because before we did the session, we actually pulled a card, and the card that she picked was ancestral trauma. So it was a karmic card, but the picture on the card was a whole bunch of people in this dark cave, but the little girl in the picture was full of light. And I worked with her. Her name is Nalia, and she cried and cried and cried after the session. And she's like, "I don't really know what happened, but I feel so much lighter walking out of this room." And she said, "I understand that this wasn't me and I couldn't have avoided this." She said, "But I feel a lot stronger after this session." It was really my honor to work with her.
Fabulous. Great
Yeah.
stories. Thank you for sharing, Joelle. It's great to see. Great to almost see you here if you get your video camera. Thank you. Who else would like to share?
Hello, good evening, beloved Paul.
Hi, Linda.
And the Portland Center, you guys are awesome. Always a delight to connect with you. Well, my story is a sibling. Many years ago, I called my sister in London just to check in on her. You know, with siblings, especially because I'm the first one, I just got the urge to check in on her. I don't know why, but I called her, and the way she spoke, it was like she was completely weak. You could hardly hear what she was saying. And I said, "Man, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call me?" Anyway, long story short, I asked her if she could sit down, and she said yes. And I had her sit down in a way that her back was free and clear from the chair, so that when I transmitted the very high frequency and light to her body, that energy could flow through her body in a way that would nourish her. And so I transmitted the Dow Hands healing to her, and I asked her to go lie down and not pick up the phone and just disconnect from everything so that her body can heal. And the next morning I checked in on her. It was like night and day difference. Her voice was back up. She could speak. She was amazed that at this healing method. And long story short, it was a win-win. So, and I've used Dow Hands for so many other conditions. I've used it at work. I've used it in my relationships. I've used it for finances. I've used it for my laundry machine that was about to conk out on me. I've used it for light that was too high for me to reach up to fix it. I mean, all kinds of stuff. It's a very powerful healing modality that actually is so grounded in science that I fell in love with Dao science, which beloved Paul talked about earlier on. And I am just like, this is the only thing that makes sense. There are many other modalities, and they're all well and good. I have studied a few others, but this is my home. This is what makes sense. This is what makes my heart skip and jump when I come across circumstances when I can serve. Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Linda. We have time for one more sharing. Any of the Dow Hands healers, if they'd like to share.
Can I share, Master Paul? Bhavna from India.
Go ahead, Bhavna.
So Master Paul, I go for treatments to a hospital for my right arm, and we get a therapy done. So the therapist who has been treating me for past few days, she told me yesterday she could see swelling in her left arm here from wrist till the arm area. And the swelling was from level 1 to 10, it was about 6. I offered her a blessing, Dow Hands Blessing. And she said immediately after the blessing, she could feel that the pain and the tightness, the pull that she was feeling in the area, the affected area, that has completely gone. So this has happened just yesterday. So I wanted to share this with you. Thank you, Master.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for that wonderful sharing, Bhavna. And Kat put she gave her cat stubbers. She started getting knots in her fur. After a few Dow Hands blessings, I noticed how her cat started bathing himself, and his fur is so pretty now, and it's been over 6 months. There's been no more fur balls. You can use your Dow Hands for many different things. So let's talk just a little bit about that. And so what are Dow Hands? They are source light hands. They're invisible to the normal eye. They're your hand. They're invisible to the normal eye, invisible only to the spiritual eye. And so, so that explains everything, right? So how does this work? Well, this event, this is self-healing, right? How do we get self-healing? Well, there's a couple of options. You might be proactive and you want to, receive Dow healing hands. And honestly, I don't really care about anybody else. I just want to heal myself. Great. We have something just for that, where you don't have to heal anybody else. You can just send healing to yourself. Maybe you say, I'm just really giving person. I've always wanted to bless my children, my mom, my dad, all my friends. Okay, that's a second level. You can receive healing for that ability as well, and so forth. How does this happen? The same way that the power can go to example of this source art. This individual, Master Sha, his name is Master Sha because he is a master of the source frequency and vibration. He can transmit frequency and vibration into anything, can also transmit it into individuals. And so when you, one of the choices, if you choose to become, for example, a Dow Healing Hands healer, then it's a one-day program, and you learn a few things, how to activate this healing that you receive into the palm of your hands. I call it a magic wand because that's in essence what it is. And then you learn how to activate it and bring healing to yourself. Okay, so now we're all going to offer a Dow Healing Hands to two different people. We're going to choose two people tonight. And I'd like to choose new people. So I'm scrolling back through some of the chat. Alicia's here, said some experiencing some PTSD, some major depression. That's not small, so we can certainly do a blessing for that if you're interested, Alicia. Alexandra says she's new to this particular class and has some syncopal episodes, kind of a migraine process. And so there's maybe others. I don't want to just focus on those two. Those are the only two that I've seen listed here that are new. And then Jamie's new, but she hasn't shared if she has something she'd like a healing for. So anyone, if you're new, feel free to speak up and we may choose you as a demonstration. If not, you don't get it tonight. You can get it later, but.
I would love to participate.
Okay. And great. Thank you for speaking up, Alicia.
Oh, yes. And so nice to meet you and everyone else. This is like my first go around with this. So,
Okay, good. Hope you're enjoying it.
yeah. And I actually had some physical sensations in my left leg. I had a knee injury a couple of years ago. I tore my ACL and fractured my knee. And I've just had like weird circulation problems and different things. But I felt like a sensation in my leg from my knee going down towards the heel in my foot. And it was pretty cool. Like I literally felt the energy going through my leg. It's very powerful.
That's what you asked for, I'm guessing, right?
Yep.
Okay. Did you get up and walk around, see if it changed any?
You know,
You should do that.
I
You might be
mean,
surprised.
yeah, no, it feels great. I'm very pleased.
Did you happen to have, I should have done this. This is my mistake. I always ask, except for tonight, do a measurement, do a level out of 10 scale, 10 being worst, 1 being I'm good. But if you were to go backwards in time, what would you guess the discomfort was before and then now?
Well, that's the thing is it's not really a discomfort issue anymore. It's more so like I'm just trying to heal. There's some like slight fractures in my knee that I want to go away before it turns into arthritis or something. But the fact that I actually felt these sensations running down my leg when I know that I've had like weird circulation problems, like that's a big thing for me. So I'm like really astounded.
Great.
With a 10-minute healing. So
Yeah, that was the light massage. It's very powerful.
yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
I see Adrienne would like to receive blessings for a healthy, easy, beautiful birth. Wonderful. And make sure you check with Cosima on that as well, because there is some special light balls for that. I'm not going to go into that tonight, I don't think, but we have some just for exactly what you're asking. She might have forgot about those. Arlene says it's got some muscle weakness, cannot walk for so long, cannot raise arms sideways for long, always have stiff neck, sleep issues. That's quite a list of things, Arlene. We're going to have to talk to you about that. Okay, so let's do this. Let me check. We have what's called checking spiritual guidance. Give me just a moment. Okay. So again, I'm going to scroll back to see the names. So Alexandra, if you're willing to receive, we'll offer a blessing to you tonight. And then we'll offer a blessing also for healthy pregnancy. Okay. Now, everyone will also, of course, receive a blessing, but we want to focus this tonight to these two. Is you okay with that, Alex? Make sure you're with us. and Adrian, Alexandra and Adrian. Okay, so all of the Dow Hands healers, if you would like to serve tonight, offer healing for these two. Okay. Then go ahead and connect. And I will say out loud to everyone to hear the activation process for the Dow Hands. Each one of us has received it either in our left hand or our right hand. We're going to offer a blessing now. So, dear my Dow Hands, we deeply honor and appreciate you. Could you please turn on? Could you please offer a Dow Hands blessing for this moment, for these two individuals, as mentioned, for Alessandra, for the migraine condition, and for the other beautiful soul for a healthy birth, for Adrian, for a healthy, easy, beautiful birth. Okay, this will be a 5-minute Dow Hands blessing. I'll set the alarm. And everybody who does not have Dow Hands, you're welcome to send love and light. And you would simply visualize light coming to these individuals. You don't have to know them. You can just see them as souls in front of you. And that would be a beautiful service as well. Dow Hands blessings for these two, for this request as appropriate. Start. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this form of positive frequency and vibration can be transmitted into a healing authority or a healing ability in many ways. Calligraphy is one of them, Dow Hands is one of them. And another way, which we're not going to be talking about, is something that's available for those that are interested, but I've received the ability to offer healing through song. So I'm going to activate that treasure and also fill in this space of time with some healing through song. And those who also have the Dow song, you're welcome to join if you would like. Start. Hey, yo, yeah, hey, yo. Hey, ya, hey, 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 ya, hey, yo. Ya, hey, ya, hey, ya, hey, yo. Ya, yo, hey, ya, yo, hey, ya, yo. Ya, hey, yo, yo. Ya, hey, yo. Hey, ya. Hey, 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 hey. I ask my Dow song to bless all the participants. Start. Ya, yo, ya, hey, ya, hey, ya. Ya, hey, yo. Ya, hey, yo, hey, ya, hey. Ya, hey, hey, ya, yo, yo. Hey, ya, hey, yo, yo. Yo. Ya, hey, ya. Hey, ya, hey, ya, yo, yo. Ya, yo, hey. Hey, ya, hey. Hey, ya, hey, ya, Hey, hey, ya, 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 yo, yo, hey, yo, hey, ya, hey, ya, hey, hey, ya, yo, yo, hey, hey, ya, yo. Ya, hey, yo. Hey, ya, hey, hey, hey. Ya, yo. Ya, hey. Ya, hey, yo. Ya, hey, yo. Ya, hey, hey. Hey, ya, yo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. So, given the nature of the presentation this evening, some or all of you may notice something, a lot of shift, no shift. Again, it really depends on what you came in with and how high is that negative Shen Qi Jing, that negative frequency and vibration that is the precursor to the suffering. And so we haven't had a lot to work with tonight in terms of very specific things that are measurable, but that's okay. Don't need that. We have a report card, tens of thousands of results. And a lot of the report card can be found on, our YouTube or various websites, lots and 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 lots of testimonials. We have no shortage of testimonials because it works. And one of the beautiful things about this healing is you can use it for yourself. That's the best part. All of us have stuff. Maybe it's a health issue, maybe it's an emotional imbalance, maybe it's some negativity mindset, the looping thoughts. We all have our own stuff. And when you receive, in this example, a Dow Healing Hands transmission, and you become a Dow Healing Hands healer, let's say just level 1, just you want to heal yourself, then you can activate it 5 times a day if you want to. You can turn it on at night while you're sleeping and receive healing while you're sleeping. And we have plenty of stories of people who use it to heal themselves. This is very, very empowering. This is just nothing quite like being able to heal yourself. And, the best part about the entirety of this program, if that's something of interest to you, is that you can actually accomplish it in one day. It doesn't take much, actually. You just attend a one-day course, which is coming up, put it on your calendar, the 26th of this month. Let me pull up a web page here to show you. Give me a moment. It's a Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. No, my mistake. It's a Sunday. So I think that puts it on the 27th, right? Yeah, Sunday the 27th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Scratch that, 27th. Make sure you get that part correct. And you get to see my beautiful face all over again. Get to spend 8 hours with me and a few other of our powerful teachers. Not sure if Lynn or Portia will be there, but we're the 3 center leaders. And you'll get this link. And matter of fact, if our team would post that in chat for anybody that's interested, and you can scroll through this. I'm not going to read all this to you. It just tells you a lot of what I've been saying so far. And then down here, a little bit further, here you go. This is called level 1, healing yourself. Now, the next month, you can do level 2. Level 2, technically level 2 is what we're doing this month. We just completed level 1 last month. So those that want to get level 1, you can. You just sign up for it. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And we just send you the recording. You can actually watch it 2 hours here, 2 hours there. And when you're done watching those 8 hours, then you call me, or you call Portia or Relyn, the master teacher, and we transmit to you this healing ability. And instantly you can start healing yourself. And during that 8-hour video that you're watching, you're actually going to see how you heal yourself, because we do that practice over and over and over again throughout the 8 hours. Then you're ready to come to level 2 if you're interested, which is healing others. Like you heard at Joelle speaking about how she offered healing to others. And so did Linda, talked about that. And Wagner talked about healing that one person. She goes in for like a shoulder tear. And, Wagner's heart's so open. She sees the other person suffering, gives them blessing, and then their pain goes to 0 in 5-10 minutes. So this is not abnormal. We see this all the time. So you can become, you can go through the level 2 class. That's at the end of this month, the 27th. You do have to watch the recording first, okay? So let me share with you, go back to this screen, healing others. This again is 1 day. And so this is for people who desire to help their children, their friends, their family, their community members, recover from illness, whatever it might be. And it's for healing, specifically for healing. Healers and coaches that want to amplify your service. Maybe you have a service already, right? Maybe you do birthing as a doula. Maybe you are a masseuse. Maybe you're a psychiatrist. Maybe you have things that a living, something you make a living at, where this could be utilized to bless others. People who want to relieve aches, stresses, and pains, Athletes, maybe they want to enhance their performance, and so forth. And then the last level, which would be the following month, March, again, optional. Level 2, level 3 are optional. What can you do? You can actually bless relationships. That relationship with that coworker we talked about earlier, you can actually heal that and have it go away. You can offer blessings as appropriate to be given the raise you've earned, to be elevated to the position you've worked so hard for. You can actually use your Dow hands to bless those kinds of things. You can have a brother or sister or family member, maybe they have a business, you can bless the success of their business, and so forth. Basically, there are no limits at the highest level of Dow hands. You can bless any aspect of life, all aspects of life, for yourself or for others. Whereas with level 1, it's just health issues, specific health issues. Level 2, others' health issues. Level 3, any part of your life or other people's life, no boundaries, okay? Well, a few very minor boundaries, but for the most part, no boundaries. Thank you, Terry, for putting it in the chat for that page I just showed you. So make sure you click on that. You can click on it now. It won't take you away from this Zoom. And then that page will be open for you to review at your leisure. So if you wanted to attend this, we're not going anywhere. When you're ready to become a healer or heal yourself, we will be here. But if you wanted to attend this, you can do the level 1 and it's only $150. You receive this permanent magic wand in your hand for self-healing forever. It's yours. No one can take it away. And it's $150. Honestly, guys, that's 2 massages. That's a few days out, a few nights, eating out. That's a Starbucks about 20 times. It doesn't take much. And most of us, honestly, will spend that just in the next month or two trying to resolve the issue we already have. So I cannot stress enough how wise that would be. And if you don't have the money, then find somebody who does and tell them that you'll give them a healing when you get to level 2. Okay. So level 2 is $200 more than that. So if you say, okay, I want to do level 1 and become a healer for myself, and I want to heal others, great. And then you just sign up for level 1 and 2. You want level 3? That's a few more. It caps out at just under $600 if you want all 3 levels. But you do not have to do any of them if you're not interested. You can just do level 1, later on do level 2. That's okay. You don't have to be done back to back. You make the choice, but self-healing is the key, okay? Now, let's talk about other ways you can receive healing that are really key to longevity. One of the things that is probably the most important thing is being able to be in a positive frequency and vibration all the time. Because if you're going to transform the negativity on your field, you need to be in a positive vibration all the time. We have a membership. I'm going to pause this for a minute. We have a membership. Now, I told you we're a virtual center. So imagine being able to be at home, playing with your kids, playing with your dog, talking to your husband, you're at work, and you're getting healing. And you're not doing anything. You're getting healing anyway. How is that possible? The healing field does not heal your back pain. The healing field does not heal the migraine. It does not heal the finances. What does it do? It transforms the negative information on your soul's vibrational field. Again, thousands of testimonials. You don't have to comprehend it or believe it. Just trust it for a little while. It'll all validate itself out. You know, we got science validating it. We got doctors validating it. It works. Your soul carries this stuff with it, positive, negative, just walking around with it your whole life. If you leave here today and you say, hey, that was cool, see you later, bye, you're still going to be walking around with this stuff, positive and negative. And the only way to get that negative off there is to do forgiveness and to do a lot of positive things, really generate your own positive frequencies and vibrations, right? We teach you how to maximize, emphasize maximum amounts of positive frequency and vibration. We basically bathe you in it. And we have 44 plus sessions a month. You make some, make 1 or 2 a week, make 3 or 4 a week, up to you. What you can't come to, we're going to call your soul in and you get healing anyway. We have people that have enrolled their children and their grandchildren and their dogs because they know that, for example, you know, we are a little bit aligned towards spirituality, and sometimes some of the family members aren't. Maybe the wife is and the husband's not. So the wife enrolls the husband. He doesn't have to be there, but the husband's getting these blessings, and he becomes softer and more gentle and starts supporting her. And how many wives would like that, right? So you can actually do this for your family members and your children and your grandchildren and your pets. Everybody's receiving healing. And it's called the membership program, or being part of the healing field. So now we'll go back to this little page. And basically, it's $75 a month if you commit to a year. This is the plan. And what we're going to do for anybody that's their first time, that's new to them, we have to get the premium program, which is this one on the right. You get the premium program for half of this for a full month. Okay, no commitment. Decide if you like it, decide what value it brings to you. The team is putting that in the chat. You can look at that. And that's actually, you can just come to this page, and what you do is you'll scroll down here, and right here, you'll see some testimonials of people saying the benefits they've received from this membership. Right here is a video that yours truly made. It's about 9 minutes long, and it goes into all of the specific detail of everything here on this column, all the benefits, how it works, da, 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 da. So this explains the details. And if you say, you know what, $38 for a month to heal, I'm in. Then you just click on this big golden button right here, and you put in this code right there, and you'll have a month in the healing field. What do we do in the healing field? Did you enjoy the light massage? Would you like that for an hour instead of 10 minutes? Would you like that 4 times a month? We do that. What if you miss it? What if I can't make it? I can't come at 5:30 on a Thursday night when you guys do the light massage. That's okay. We have recording, so you don't miss a thing, and work all your soul, so you get the light massage whether you're there or not. How brilliant is that? But when you're there, it's so much more fun. And we do the light massage. We do a meditation on Tuesdays. We do Tai Chi, which is energy movement with the calligraphies like the ones behind me. We start tracing those, interacting with those, getting specific frequencies and vibrations to transform fear or anger or whatever it might be that we're working on that day. We have morning and evening practices. And if you can only come to 1 or 2 or 3 in a week, that's okay. We just make a whole bunch of them to cover everybody because we never know when you're going to be able to show up. We got morning, we got afternoons, we got evenings. When you show up, it's up to you. The key is, pay attention. The key is bring your body, your soul, into a constant positive field. If you get that, if I did a good job explaining today, you'll be signing up faster than you know what to do. Because the way we get rid of that negative health issue, those financial issues, those relationship issues, is we got to bring an eraser. You got to find an eraser to erase that negative stuff. That's what we provide, the world's biggest eraser of negative stuff. And as I said again and again, we have a report card that it works. Okay. And you can test it for $38. At the end of that, you can decide, do I want to do a membership or not? That's my world, we call a financial no-brainer. So I hope that that's something that you really would like to take advantage of. I hope that, it's something that you see the value in. And you can also make a commitment, not make a commitment. You can book a private session with myself or this beautiful woman here in the middle, Portia. Rulin, you can book a session with her, but you got to pay for it. We all have half-hour and 1-hour sessions, but we offer a gift of a 15-minute consult. Might not sound like much, but we accomplish a lot in that period of time. And honestly, the first time we talk to people, we usually give them 30 minutes anyway. And that's almost a $200 value. My time is worth $400 an hour. Why? Because in that 1 hour, I can create a miracle. That's why. So people pay for our time. They pay for our services at a very high level. To be able to get the kind of healing we're talking about for that nominal amount, $35 for a month, and then $75 if you like it, great. If not, that's okay. We'll continue to heal people. When you're ready, we'll be here. So this is what we're all about. This is how this whole program works. If you want some private connection, private consult, you're not sure, you need a little more information, then book a free 15-minute with myself or Portia. We're happy to connect with you. We'll do it on Zoom like this. And by the way, when and if you decide to do the membership, one of the first things we do, even the trial version, one of the first things we do is we suggest you book 15 minutes with us, because we isolate what you to focus on for that month, because we want to heal that one thing in your life. We want you to see shift so you can be happy. And you might just say, okay, after that, okay, now I'm ready for Dow Hands. That's okay. We don't care what order you do things in. We're just letting you know the tools in the toolkit, the candy in the candy store. We want you to know what's available to you, okay? We have a lot of things that are free. This is free. A lot of people came here tonight to receive free healing, okay? We offer other things that are free. If you don't have money, that doesn't mean we can't help you. But know that, the greatest value is keeping yourself in the positive vibrational field as much as you can, okay? So I want to say thank you to everybody that came here tonight. Thank you for bringing your friends, family, everybody on Facebook. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the comments. Do pay attention to the chat. There's been lots of different posts in there. Terry's put in the link for Dow Hands if you want to register. That's actual registration. It has the prices and everything in there. There's also the link in there for just learning more. That's in there. The link for going to the membership, that's in there. And what do? Just click on it. It'll open a web page. You still see me for another few minutes. And then after we're done, go to that web page. After this, we go back into Zoom where you gave us your email. We don't, bother you, but we do send you this recording, and so you can watch it again. And we send you the same information that we're showing you here on the right-hand side, in case you weren't fast enough with the click, or you're on your phone and it's not practical, or whatever the case may be. We don't want you to miss these important links. So we're going to make sure you get those as well. I'm going to open the line now for any questions or comments. Joelle, you're welcome to share. And we get to see you. Yay.
I was just looking at Adrian, is that her name? The beautiful mama we prayed for, her birth.
Mama, yes.
Did you read her comment?
Mm-mm.
It says, "Thank you for your blessing for me in my pregnancy. My journey around birth has been tied to a struggle I've had with my own mother. I just got a text from her with a sincere apology just moments after the blessing."
No kidding.
So beautiful.
Isn't that amazing? Will that help with the birth? Heaven must have thought so. It's a great sharing, Joyelle.
Really beautiful.
Yeah, sometimes we can't see those results, but an immediate result, get a phone call. We see this, by the way, with relationships. I teach people simple forgiveness practices and use their healing abilities for that. Come into the healing field and ask for transformation in relationship. And then out of the blue, someone they haven't talked to in 10 years, they start chatting again and everything's just fine, like it never happened. Why? Because the negative information on both of their vibrational fields was out of balance. We brought it back into a positive space. Things started to heal. It's simple science, and yet it's profound. So any other sharing at this time, you're welcome to put in the chat or open your line and share.
Master Paul, can I share?
As long as you don't call me master, yes.
Okay, Paul, can I share?
Yes.
Thank you. I wanted to share the power that Dow Light Massage has, and being in the field with Master Shah, that I had to have a surgery for my shoulder and I was bedridden for more than a month now. But being with Master Shah in the field for Dow Light Massage, Dow Song, and attending these sessions, it has helped me to reach a stage where I'm healed so much that I'm able to walk, I'm able to go for the therapy by myself, I'm able to eat by myself, and I'm more independent just by being in the field of Master Shah with just these small little commitments, investments, which are true investments. And so I recommend that whoever can just be in the field with Master Shah and be in the field with that is being created through you and all the teachers. It really helps us to heal even being at home and not having huge investments even in tough times. So I'm very grateful for all these services and healings, Master Paul. Thank Paul. Please.
Thank you, Agna. Thank you. Terry?
Oh, could I share?
Please.
You mentioned something that reminded me. This is probably 8 or 9 years ago, and I had received the what back then was called the Divine Healing Hands, level 1, which compared to what Dow Hands is relatively tiny. And I had a friend who was just sharing that she had been estranged from her brother for 10 years. He wouldn't respond to her emails. He wouldn't answer the phone if she called. I said, gee, could I give a blessing? She says, sure. And so I was not very proficient back then. And I did what I could do, not realizing that it wasn't me, that it was the Divine Healing Hands. And about 10 days later, she texted me and she says, oh, I didn't tell you. The next day, my brother called me and talked to me like the 10 years had never occurred. And we were just back to communicating again. I remember that was one of the early ones that just blew me away. It's like, wow.
Yeah, great sharing. Thank you, Terry. Okay. So again, my deepest gratitude to everybody who's come tonight. If you're new, then don't be new. Be a part of this, because this will bring healing to you for a long time to come. We're a very family-oriented community. Even though it's a virtual healing center, that doesn't mean we don't get together and laugh and heal. So there's lots of opportunities, mornings, afternoons, and evenings, where we do all kinds of activities. We have weekend workshops, and I want to just spend a moment on one that's coming up Valentine's Day. So those of you that don't have a date, Valentine's Day, come spend it with us. We have a program called Rewrite Your Love Life. You like that? Because if you're not someplace Valentine's from 7 to 9 p.m., you're one of the teachers, or you need to rewrite your love life. Okay. And so we have programs where you can just learn to write the Dao calligraphy, which in and of itself is very healing, very cathartic. But what is not known about it is that the characters, the way the characters align vertically, horizontally, their size compared to each other represents the head, the neck, the middle of the body, the heart, the abdominal region, and the legs. Okay, so when you write it, if it's out of alignment, then it actually shows the teacher where you're misaligned at. They can say, oh, I can see right there, you must have some lower back pain and abdominal issues. So they might say, oh, you know what, is one of your hips off? Because the leg's up high on this calligraphy. It should be, leveled out, and you're just or it looks like you might have some head issues. And it's astounding. And when you actually do the calligraphy in the correct alignment, it's a one stroke writing. You see the calligraphies behind me, they're all one stroke. There's no separation of the lines. Then what it actually you're doing is you're aligning your soul, your heart, your mind, and your body. So not only is it fun, not only is it art, you're actually aligning and doing what? Self-healing. And in this case, we're going to be working with the greatest love, which is a special calligraphy. It's in Mandarin, it's called Dow Light, the greatest love. And one of the reasons why we want you to attend is because, let me see if I can pull up this quick page to show you here, is because it's on the end of the month. It's 26th, the Saturday before the Dow Hands. It's only like 5 or 6 hours. And you can see here, right? You don't have to do it black and white. Here's the best part. You don't have to do ink. You use this little guy right here. You see this thing right here? This is called water paper or magic paper. You just get a brush and water, and it turns black and then dries in about a minute or two. And you just reuse it and reuse it and reuse it. And locally, most people don't have these stores locally that'll carry this. So there's a few links like Amazon where you can get these at. And the link for this program has been put in the chat. So click on that. And but if you come to Monday night, unless you have a water brush and paper, you're not going to be able to do much, just watch Rulin. But she'll be teaching about Dao, the greatest love. She'll be writing calligraphy, giving everybody healing, and explaining the value of you joining this program, which is near the end of the month, Saturday the 26th. And one thing I can tell you as a wrap-up statement is, the individual who's brought all this healing to us, you've heard his name. His name is Master Sha. And earlier this year, he said 2 things. He said, the healing in the future will be routed through 2 modalities. His healing. Dow Hands will still be there. He said, I'm going to put the highest healing in the calligraphy and the voice. So those who spend time understanding it, interacting with it, you have the potential for the highest healing. There are those that actually learn it well and become a healer through calligraphy. I did a Facebook live stream about a year ago, and I said, okay, I'm going to offer everybody healing with Dao calligraphy, and I'm going to write it in the middle of the air. So I received a transmission. So I sat there for 5 minutes and I did this in the air. Ding, 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 just traced the calligraphy in the air, one that I know in my head. Ding, 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 ding. I just activated the healing transmission. Ding, 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 ding. 5 minutes later, okay, let's check with everybody. This 7 went down to a 2. This 5 went to 0. There's lots of results. You can become a healer with calligraphy if you want to. So if it resonates with you, if you want to rewrite your love life, click on the link. Join the free evening. It's this Monday, Valentine's, 7 to 9. We're going to repeat it Friday. If you got plans on Monday, we're going to repeat it Friday. Okay. So there's a couple of options, and both of those are listed in the link that we put in the chat. So you can come to one, come to both. Those are the free intros. And of course, the purpose is to get you to come to the 6-hour training that's near the end of the month, which costs a little bit of money, but it's awesome. Okay. So thank you everybody for coming. Thank you to the moderator team for putting all their information aside. Deeply grateful. And we'll see you very soon. I hear somebody open their line.
Yes, this is Kate. When in Berkeley, when could I ask you or about the older Dow Hands and whether I could use from the older transmission, whether I could use that for helping a relationship between a mother and daughter, or
You already have those authorities, Kate. You can do that now.
that's great. Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Paul.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.